What's up, guys? So I've been wanting to do a few updates, and I figured I would at least start with the motorcycle, mainly these Supermoto wheels that I put on here like last year, I think I got them last year. So there's been a lot of views on those videos just wanting to know the fit and the quality of them, and I've tried to keep them updated in the comments and everything, but I thought I'd go ahead and make one more update video since it's been over a year now, and kind of look at some of the things that I've changed on it and some of the things that I originally didn't like about it. So let's go ahead and look closer at these. So these are the KKE Supermoto wheels. These are the non-cush drive version, and the reason I did that is because I probably should have went with the cush drive, but I went without it because the wheels that are on here originally are not cush drive. You know, the 21 front and the 18 rear are not cush drive. So that's the main reason I went with it. I figured, you know, most dirt bikes, they don't want you to put them on the road because of things like the transmission, and the cush drive doesn't have the dampening like a street bike would. So you kind of would take the risk of wearing out your tires and everything starting on the hard pavement as opposed to soft dirt and gravel that the dirt bikes would use. But since this is an S model, it's made for the street, you know, I probably could have went with a cush drive. It would have been a little bit better, but I stayed with a non-cush drive just because it was easier and that's what was on it. So anyway, the first things that I changed on it, that I had to change on it, was because these front rotor bolts here, these right there, these are actually the stock ones that would come on a Supermoto of the same year. So that's what I replaced it with, and they've got a bigger Allen head on there so you can actually fit things better without stripping it out. The original ones had a tiny Allen head and they were not good at all. They pretty much seized in there. They seized with the aluminum hub, and it was almost impossible to get them out. I had to drill them out and everything, and I've got a video on that if you're interested. But pretty much I've got these on here and they come out super easy, and I've also anti-seized them so I don't have to worry about that, but they also don't rust. So as you can see back here, these are the ones that came with the KKE, and they've also rusted, and they've got tiny little Allen heads. So those will have to be replaced, but I hadn't really looked into it yet, mainly because you don't take this rear rotor off at all. But when you're switching around your Supermoto wheels and your dirt wheels, you have to take this front rotor off because you can't get this in and out of the caliper the way it is. So this has to be taken loose, and then you can take it all out. So that's the main reason that these need to be able to be taken in and out whenever you need to without having to drill them out every time. So that's really the only issue I've had with these wheels. So eventually I'll replace those back ones, and the front one's already done, so that's good. Other than that, as far as the quality of the wheels here, the finish of them is still super smooth. Now you got to keep in mind, I don't daily drive this. This is not my everyday driver. This is like, you know, I'll take trips on it a few times a year. This year in particular, I haven't taken any trips on it. So it's kind of just been garaged, and I just, once in a while I'll take it to work, but it's not a commuter in any sense. And it's also garage stored. So if you store your bike outside and drive it every day, your results are probably going to be a little bit different, but I can't tell you for sure. But as far as, you know, getting them wet and everything, I've rode in the rain in it. It's been washed. There's no rust on the spokes. There's, of course, the rim's aluminum. There's no rust on that, even where it's I've chipped it in some places. I think that's just, no, that's an actual chip there. So, but I mean, there's no flaking of the paint. All the chips were done by me, whether it was taking the wheels on and off. I'm not super delicate with them. I treat them just like whatever, you know. They're only $1,000, so it's not too big a deal. You can see there's a pretty big thing there. I'm not sure what I did that on, whether that was taking it in and out, or maybe I rubbed up against something. But other things like this, I've got a couple deep scratches there. Couldn't tell you what caused that. Maybe a rock popped up in there and and flung around for a minute, who knows. But as far as the actual finish of the rims, there's no flaking, there's nothing else like that. There's no imperfections in the paint. Even the logo they put on here hasn't come off. It's still on there very well. The tires that come on it, like I said, these are the let's see, CST. They're Changshin tires, so they're Chinese tires, but they also are like these are actually owned. Changshin Tire owns a lot of other companies, so they own like Maxxis Tire, if you've ever heard of that. That's their more professional race tire, whereas this is considered their streetable tire. So this is just a basic street tire. It's not going to be a light tire like their Maxxis tires, so these are a little bit heavier. But you know, it's just something that they throw on there and kind of throw in with it, because you're paying $1,000 for 2 rims and a tire and all the bracketry to make it work on your S model DRZ. So in my opinion, it's a really good deal. And as far as the tire smoothness, I mean, everything's smooth. I've got no weird things going on with it. Front and back is super smooth. So I mean, it's a good tire. I honestly, I would buy them again if they sold them around here. I haven't really looked into it. I don't know if they sell them around here, but if they did, I would definitely pick up another set, because you know, there's a lot more expensive sets that pretty much give you the same results, you know, good wear, and that's about it. You can see on this side, since it's a little bit wide of a tire, it does rub the chain just a little bit, and it's kind of rubbed into it, but that's what you get when you put these wider tires on here. And I can't remember what this one is. Let me see if I can see here. It's a 150 on here, 150 70/17. So it is a wider tire than they would recommend you put on. I think that's even wider than a stock Supermoto, but it's a really good tire. It just barely rubs. It's, you know, it doesn't cause a problem. It just rubs your tire a little bit, and once it's done rubbing, you know, it rubs it off enough. It's fine. So that's the main update. Other than that, you know, it's still a DRZ 400S model, equipped for taking trips and that kind of thing. Got some ambulances going by, fire trucks. Nope. That one's a tow truck. It must be a bad wreck, because that's the second wrecker that went by, and about 5 cops went by. So who knows what happened out that way. But anyway, that's pretty much the update. I've got another trip to do in November, going to Tennessee for the Loose Nut Dual Sport for 2020, and it's going to ride part of the lower Tat. So it's going to hit up, I think we're going to go through 3 or 4 states down there, starting in Savannah, Tennessee. So that'll be pretty fun. Looking forward to that. And the next update I'll be doing is on the Moto van, because that's what I haul my bike on. I have a rack that goes in the back, and I pretty much haul it, and I've built this van out to do that. And it's got a bed in it, it's got a counter, it's got a TV. I'm actually in the process of installing an HD antenna. That way you can pick up local channels and have HD TV, as well as I just usually play movies on it. And you know, it's got a lot of other stuff in there for a camper van. But yeah, some updates on that coming up next. And that's pretty much it for these. They're a really good tire. And I forgot to mention this, if anybody notices scuffing here in the beginning of the video, that was from me putting the wrong spacer on it. So when I first took it for a ride, it kind of rubbed my bracket that comes with this. So once you put the right spacer on it, you don't have that rubbing. So hopefully your results will be a lot different than mine, where I put the wrong bracket on there. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Appreciate everybody watching and questioning and commenting on the videos, asking about these rims. But I really like them. They're not bad at all. They're really good for the money you pay. And that's about it. So thanks for watching.